Your Claude Code session dies mid-task because you hit a rate limit, and you lose 20 minutes hunting for a fallback. OmniRoute is built to make that moment disappear. OmniRoute, one of the biggest problems I run into when using AI agents, is turning their output into YouTube content I can actually use to market my product. That's why this video is sponsored by Subscriber, a tool that helps business owners connect their AI agents to YouTube and market their products without spending 10 hours every week creating content. You can connect Claude or ChatGPT directly to Subscriber. It then analyzes your business, website, and YouTube channel to help you create SEO-optimized video ideas, scripts, thumbnails, and even complete videos that actually match your brand. What I like most is that every week, Subscriber gives me a list of high-potential video ideas I can immediately execute, and it can even help edit videos for me, with or without my face, including videos like the one you're watching right now. It's easy to get started, and you can try Subscriber for free using the link in the description below. Now back to the video. It promises one endpoint for 268 plus providers. The real question is whether the setup actually holds up or falls apart the second you try it. Step 1. Install OmniRoute locally. The number that matters here is 2, as in 2 commands to get a live dashboard and API. Get this wrong and you're staring at a port conflict or a blank screen with no idea where the gateway even lives, and your whole setup is dead before it starts. I ran npm install yeti OmniRoute, then typed OmniRoute, and the dashboard came up on localhost port 2828 with the API right there alongside it. I ran curl localhost 2028 v1 models and got a model list back. No install time from the vendor, but 2 sources agree the commands work exactly as written, and that's what I care about. 2 commands, no drama, gateway is live, this step works cleanly, and that's one of 6 steps confirmed working right out of the gate. I know that install step looks easy, but I've watched it go sideways enough times to know the edge cases. Drop a comment below if the port setup has ever wrecked your afternoon. Step 2. Connect multiple AI providers. The objection I hear constantly is that 268 providers sounds like a marketing number, not a real one. And if the dashboard flow is broken or the provider types are shallow, that number means nothing, and you're back to juggling API keys across 5 different tools. I looked at the provider breakdown and the coverage is genuinely wide, free tiers like Kiro and Pollinations, API key providers like OpenAI and Grok, OAuth options including Claude Code and Cursor, and local runners like Olema. The dashboard flow is providers, add provider. Pick your type, documented and consistent across the wiki. No independent hands-on count of providers actually working, so the 268 figure is vendor claimed, but the structure is real. Provider setup works, the 4 provider types are real, the dashboard flow is documented, and 90 plus free tiers is a genuinely useful safety net. So that's 2 of 6 steps holding up with the foundation getting stronger. Step 3, token compression, and the claim is 15 to 95% reduction. That range is so wide it should make you pause. 15% barely moves the bill, but 95% on a tool-heavy session would be genuinely life-changing. So the question is whether that number is a real benchmark or just the best-case ceiling on a slide. Look for independent confirmation here, and there isn't any. The 15 to 95% figure is vendor only, and the 89% average on tool-heavy sessions is vendor only too. What I did find is that the auto prefix routing system is real and documented, with variants like auto coding, auto fast, and auto cheap, giving you 0 config routing across 17 or 18 strategies depending on which source you trust. The routing strategies are real, but the compression numbers are a promise, not a proven result. Treat the 15 to 95% claim as a target until the community independently measures it, and that puts 3 of 6 steps in with the first real caveat attached. Step 4. IDE integration with Claude Code, Cursor, and Continue. The failure mode here is brutal. You follow the setup guide, point your base URL at the gateway, and then Continue in VS Code just refuses to connect, which is exactly what community reports say is happening to real users who've spent an hour on it and gotten nowhere. The split here is cleaner than I expected. Claude Code and Cursor both connect by pointing the base URL at localhost 2018RV1 with your dashboard key. Vendor and blog sources agree, and the endpoint translates between OpenAI, Claude, Gemini, and the responses API automatically. Continue in VS Code is the exception. Community reports integration failures despite following the guides, and I couldn't find an independent success figure to counter that. If you're on Claude Code or Cursor, this step works cleanly, one endpoint. All your models, no per tool config. Continue in VS Code is the gotcha, so skip it for now and wait for the community to sort out the integration failures, which puts 4 of 6 steps confirmed with 2 clean wins in a row. So the install, the providers, and the IDE integration are all on the board, but the 2 steps still ahead are the ones that decide whether OmniRoute actually keeps your session alive when a quota runs out, and whether Docker deployment is solid enough to trust in a real environment. Step 5. Quota-aware auto-fallback. The concrete failure here is your paid Claude quota hits 0 at 11 p.m., your coding session is mid-task, and the gateway returns a 503 with nothing left to try. If the fallback logic isn't smart about draining cheap options before expensive ones, you're paying for a feature that doesn't actually protect you. When I dug into the fallback design, the economic priority routing is genuinely smart. OmniRoute drains paid subscriptions first, then cheap API providers, then free tiers, and only fails when everything is exhausted. The sub 10 nm switch claim is vendor only with one blog saying just milliseconds, so real-world speed underload is unverified. But the per provider circuit breaker means one bad key doesn't take the whole gateway down. The fallback design is solid, and the economic priority logic is a real differentiator. The gotcha is that the sub 10 nms figure is unverified, so if you need guaranteed speed underload, wait for community data, and that's 5 of 6 steps done with this one, holding up on design even if the speed number is still a promise. Step 6. Docker deployment. The number that matters here is 1, as in one run command, to get the gateway persistent and auto-restarting. Get this wrong and you're writing your own compose file from scratch. Your data doesn't survive a restart, and you're debugging volume mounts instead of actually using the tool. Docker is the best documented claim in the whole set. The run command includes a restart policy and maps port 2128, verified in the wiki. Compose profiles cover base, CLI, host, and a combined CLI plus proxy option. Volume-based persistence with OmniRoute data, our app data, is explicitly covered, including backup guidance. Multi-architecture cluster support is mentioned, but not independently verified, so I'd treat that one as a bonus, not a guarantee. Docker works exactly as documented. One command, persistent data, 4 compose profiles, no guesswork, and that's 6 of 6 steps checked, with 4 of those are clean verified wins, and the other 2 carrying honest caveats on unverified speed and compression numbers. Here's what you'll actually have by the end. 2 commands and you've got a live dashboard and API on port 2128. You've got 268 plus providers across free, API key, OAuth, and local types, with 90 plus free tiers as a safety net. Claude Code and Cursor both point at one endpoint. Docker is running with persistent storage and auto restart. That's a real, working AI gateway. Now, the mistakes to avoid. Don't treat the 15 to 95% compression claim as a proven number. It's vendor only, so measure your own sessions. Skip continue in VS Code for now because community reports failures and there's no reliable fix yet. And don't assume the sub 10 ms fallback speed holds under real load, since that figure needs independent validation before you build a critical workflow around it. If you're a Claude Code or Cursor user who wants one endpoint for 268 plus models and free tier fallback, install OmniRoute today. If you're on Continue in VS Code or you need guaranteed sub 10 ms fallback speed, wait. The community hasn't validated those 2 claims yet. One thing no setup guide mentions, the port environment variable isn't always respected when OmniRoute runs alongside other services on the same machine. If you've got something else on 2028, the gateway silently fails to rebind. Fix it by explicitly setting the port variable in your Docker run command or compose file before you start. Now that you've got OmniRoute routing across 268 plus providers, the next question is which models are actually worth routing to? So check out my breakdown of GPT 5.6. Sol, is it actually worth it? It answers exactly that, and it'll change which auto prefix you reach for first.